Gopi Jana Vallabham Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabham Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvajakacharya Astar Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaura Premananda Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 21, The Dynasty of Bharata. Today we're reading texts 19 through 21. 19 and 20 don't have purport, so I'm going to just read the English translation, and we'll chant 21 together. So text 19 and 20. From Garga came a son named Shini, and his son was Gargya. Although Gargya was a Kshatriya, there came from him a generation of Brahmanas. From Mahavirya came a son named Duritakshaya, whose sons were Triaruni, Kavi, and Pushkaruni. Although these sons of Duritakshaya took birth in a dynasty of Kshatriyas, they too attained the position of Brahmanas. Brihatchatra had a son named Hasti, who established the city of Hastinapur, now New Delhi. So text 21. Ajamido Dvimidash Cha Puramidash Cha Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vamshaha Syu Priyamedadayo Dvijaha Ajamido Dvimadascha Puramidascha Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vamsyasyu Priyamedadayo Dvijaha Ajamido Dvimidascha Purumidascha Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vamsyasyu Priyamedadayo Dvijaha Ajamido Dvimidascha Puramidascha Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vamsyasyu Priyamedadayo Dvijaha Yastu Mirascha Mirasahastina Yasu Yaramita Hastina Admidasya Vamsyasya Admidasya Purumidasya Hastinaha Vamsyasya Vaishnavis, Ajamira Dvimirascha Ajamidaha Ajamida Dvimidaha Dvimidha Cha also Puramidaha Puramida Cha also Hastinaha became the sons of Hasti Ajamidasya of Ajamida Vamsyaha descendants Syuhu are Priyameda Adayaha headed by Priyameda Dvijaha Brahmanas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. From King Hasti came 3 sons named Ajamita, Dvimita, and Pudamita. The descendants of Ajamita, headed by Priyameda, all achieved the position of brahmanas. Please repeat. From King Hasti came 3 sons named Ajamita, Dvimita, and Pudamita. The descendants of Ajamita, headed by Priyameda, all achieved the position of brahmanas. Purport. This verse gives evidence confirming the statement of Bhagavad Gita that the orders of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, are calculated in terms of qualities and activities, guna karma vibhagashaha. All the descendants of Ajamita, who was a Kshatriya, became brahmanas. This was certainly because of their qualities and activities. Similarly, sometimes the sons of brahmanas or Kshatriyas become Vaishyas, Brahmana Vaishyatam Gataha. When a Kshatriya or Brahmana adopts the occupation or duty of a Vaishya, Krishigo Raksha Vanijam, he is certainly counted as a Vaishya. On the other hand, if one is born a Vaishya, by his activities he can become a Brahmana. This is confirmed by Narada Muni, Yasya Lakshanam Proktam. The members of the Varnas, or social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, must be ascertained by their symptoms, not by birth. Birth is immaterial, quality is essential. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in Vedic society, there was the system of varnas, occupational divisions. There were brahmanas, kshatriyas, vaishyas, and sudras. But this is not simply a characteristic of Vedic civilization or Indian culture. It's something that is manifest everywhere. In every society, we can see there is some class of intellectuals or religionists, and we can also see that in every society there is something that's equivalent to the Kshatriyas, some administrative or military or police class, and we can also see in almost every society some equivalent of Vaishyas, those who are engaged in economic development, either by agricultural activities or trade. And we also see there is some equivalent of Sudra, artisan, laborer class. So, were you making a hand signal at me? Okay. All right. So, I mean, just like, devotees go to college campuses, so you can see there's some group of teachers, there's some campus police, some administrators, there's some people taking care of the lawns and things like that. So this isn't something that we just find in Indian culture. It's something that's manifest everywhere by Krishna's arrangement. It's just that in ancient India and the lands that were under the Vedic culture, this was understood consciously. Now people just somehow or other they find themselves engaged in different occupations. But in Vedic culture, these things were understood consciously. And in the Daiva Varnashram system, all of these different occupational divisions were not only consciously understood, they were arranged in such a way to advance the cause of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in these verses, in the Bhagavatam and in this purport, Brahmana is being stressed. And, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnya Maya Shrastam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, Krishna says, that these varnas are not determined by birth, but by guna, quality, and karma, work. So, Srila Prabhupada said in a purport in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that a Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana because a Vaishnava possesses the qualities of a Brahmana. So, Vaishnava means devotee of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, and Vishnu is in the mode of goodness. So the devotees of Vishnu will also, no matter what occupation they may be performing, a Vaishnava should possess the qualities of a Brahmana. And what are those? They are described in the Bhagavad Gita, Shamodamastapa Saucham, Shantra Arjavam Evacha, Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam, Brahma Karma Swabhava Jam. So, Shama means peacefulness. And a Brahmana or a devotee becomes peaceful by following the peace formula. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suradam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatvamam Shantim Richtati. Krishna gives, a formula for becoming peaceful. So Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam means recognizing that Krishna is the ultimate goal of all sacrifice and austerity. It's not for one's personal benefit. If one sees like that, one becomes peaceful. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. If one understands that everything is ultimately the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then again, one becomes peaceful. If one is thinking, no, this is mine, this is his, he took it, then you become very unpeaceful. Suradam Sarva Bhutanam. Recognize Krishna as the supreme friend of all living entities. They're all related to him, and he is their ultimate well-wisher and friend. If one understands that, one becomes peaceful. So a Brahmin is peaceful. Dhamma, the next quality, means is able to control the senses, is a controlled person. Then the next quality, tapa, Brahmins are austere. They perform different kinds of austerities. Saucha means pure. So the brahmanas are pure or clean, both internally and externally. These are very important characteristics of brahmana. Then chanti. Srila Prabhupada translates it in different ways. Sometimes he translates it as forgiving. So, Brahmins are not very eager to become angry. They tend to be controlled, forgiving types of personalities. Jnanam, Brahmins are expected to be knowledgeable, but beyond that, they are also meant to be wise. Vijnanam means having realized knowledge. For example, I may have theoretical knowledge, I am not this body, but can I display that in practice, in my body, in the activities of my body, my words, my thoughts? Can I demonstrate that practically? So those are the characteristics of a Brahman that are given in the Bhagavad Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are similar lists of Brahminical qualities. In the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni gives some similar qualities of a Brahmanan, but he lists among them Daya, mercy. So the Brahmanas are actually very merciful. And in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna gives to Uddhava a similar list of the qualities of a Brahmana, and in addition to the ones already named, he gives one called Mad Bhaktis, be my devotee, as well. That's a characteristic of a Brahmana. So those are the qualities of a Brahmana, but then there's also practical activities. And it's stated there are 6 activities that a Brahmana performs: patana, yajana, dana, pratigraha. So patana means the Brahmin studies the Vedic literature, becomes knowledgeable about the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, other Vedic literatures. He studies them, and also patana means teaches. So in modern society, this can mean not just studying, but producing books, printing them, distributing them. Patana. These are Brahminical activities. Yajana. The Brahmin performs sacrifice, yajna, and worship. So Brahmanas perform puja, they perform yajna or sacrifice. In the Kali Yuga, the primary sacrifice is the Sankirtan Yagya, Yagyaya Sankirtana Prayar, Yajanti Hi Sumeda Saha. So and the way that is performed involves, in this age, book distribution also. So that is also a Brahminical activity. Getting the ingredients for the sacrifice, whatever's required to print books and distribute them widely in human society. This is the sacrifice that the Brahmanas and the modern Hare Krishna movement are expert at performing. Of course, other kinds of sacrifice are there. So they perform this sacrifice, and they also teach others how to perform this sacrifice. They engage others in it. So yajana, dana pratigraha. So that means they give charity and they accept charity. So Brahmins, they are allowed to accept charity from others in Vedic civilization. So the Brahmanas in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness are allowed to accept charity, and they do. They accept extensive charity, but it's all engaged in sacrifice. In pratigraha, it's used to give back to the society. Society provides donations, which we accept, and we give back to society: festivals, temple worship, knowledge. So these are the activities of a Brahmana, but they should all be centered on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can be, just an ordinary Brahmana without any focus on Krishna. That's possible. So, there's one statement, Sadkarma Nipano Vipro Mantra Tantra Visharadaha Avaishnavo Guru Nasyat Vaishnavo Swapacho Guru. That means one may be a very expert Brahmana, expert in all these different activities, the Shat Karmas, the 6 activities of a Brahmana, and one may be very expert in chanting mantras and engaging in all the ritualistic activities. But if one is not a Vaishnava, one is not really fit to be a spiritual master. But a Vaishnava, even if born in the family of dog eaters, if he's actually qualified, he or she is actually qualified, can serve as a spiritual master. So, the main point Srila Prabhupada is making in this purport is that the qualities of a varna, of a person, in terms of their varna position, has to be evaluated not by birth but by qualification and work. And on that basis, Srila Prabhupada made brahmanas. He came to the Western world in 1965, established first temple in New York City at 26 2nd Avenue, and began giving first initiation. And then after some time, I was looking at the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. It says that in May of 1968, Srila Prabhupada gave the first Brahminical initiations or second initiations in the Boston Temple. So that was part of his plan, to make brahmanas. And he did that on the basis of this statement in the Bhagavad Gita that brahmana is not, the position of brahmana is not determined by birth. It's determined by quality and activity. And if somebody demonstrates the qualities of a brahmana, they can be given the Brahminical initiation. Of course, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, had also done that in India. He had given a Brahminical initiation to members, all members who qualified themselves in his society, whether or not they were born in the Brahmin caste. And because of that, he experienced a lot of opposition in India from the caste brahmanas, who believed that that position could be attained only by birth. So Srila Prabhupada followed in the footsteps of his own spiritual master and gave Brahminical initiation to people who, what to speak of not being Brahmins by birth, weren't by birth having any connection with any position in the Varnashram system. So it's also mentioned here in this purport, Brahmana Vaishyatam Gata. Srila Prabhupada mentions sometimes the sons of Brahmanas or Kshatriyas become Vaishyas. And there are some examples of that. Of course, Krishna is, in one sense, an example of that. He was, of course, Krishna is never born. He's eternal. He's beyond all of these designations. But when he comes to this world, he plays particular roles. So, according to the role that he played when he appeared 5,000 years ago, he appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki first. And they were members of the Kshatriya order. But then he was transferred to Vrindavan, to the household of his, what were called foster parents in terms of that Leela, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And they were Vaishya. So Krishna, when he was with them in Vrindavan, he played as a cowherd boy in a community of Vaishnavas. And actually the family history from Nanda Maharaj's side was interesting. And actually we're going to come to some of this as we go through the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's also told in books like Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami and the Vraja Vilas Stava of Raghunath Das Goswami, what the family histories were. There was we're going to come in a few chapters, in chapter 24 of the 9th canto, a personality named Deva Midha. And this Deva Midha was a Kshatriya, and he had a Kshatriya wife and a Vaishya wife. So from his Kshatriya wife, he had a son, Surasena, who was the father of Vasudeva, and Krishna appeared in that family. But this Deva Midha also had a Vaishya wife And from this Vaishya wife came a son named Parjanya. And Parjanya was the father of Nanda Maharaj. So it was a Kshatriya lineage that became Vaishya, as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. But the main thing is that these qualities of the different varnas or occupational divisions are determined by guna, quality, and karma, work, not simply by birth. Birth can be there. There are lines of Kshatriyas, lines of Brahmanas, but as Narada Muni explained, if a person is born in one of these lines but displays the qualities of another varna, he should be recognized as such. So I'll stop there. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, glories to Srila Prabhupada. So,